In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at the live production interface and the bottom tab called Input Setup. The Input Setup tab is critical to making the virtual sets actually work in the Tricaster. So I'm going to start by making sure my camera is in the correct definition. For ours, the Tricaster Studio only works for us in standard definition. So we need to make sure our camera shoots in standard as opposed to high definition. I've switched that camera from high def into standard def so I can see my signal. I've hooked up the cords. I'm using component cords to get the signal from the camera to the Tricaster's box. And here I am able to now see the camera 3 input. I've put a little Emmy award-winning man here for our tutorial just for learning purposes, but obviously it looks much different when we have a real person there. Now the Input Setup tab is the 4th tab on the bottom row here, where you're able to choose the input that you want to change. There's up to 3 inputs as well as the DDR text. They're all the inputs that are also on your live bus, and you're able to choose the input. I'm using camera 3's cord, so you see camera 3, which means input 3. When I choose 3, I also want to have 3 on preview, 3 on line, 3 on the effects row. So I'm able to chroma key out on that bus. So you need to come down over to this area called Live Matte, and you're going to pick the color that you want to remove in order to chroma key. I'm going to hold it down until it becomes a little dopper like this. Hold down my button, and it's clicking the gray of the button I'm actually on right now. But I need to hold that button down and travel up to the shot, and it'll see the green, which I'm going to want that color removed, and I could unclick it. And as you see, it selected it back down here in this area. The next thing you're going to want to do is pick your scene and your shot. So I might want a centered shot, and I might want these are your various virtual sets to choose from. And I might want to decide what virtual set I'd like to use. I'll pick, just for fun, I'm going to pick World Update, and I'm going to pick my kind of my mid shot with the desk included. Once I've done that, I'm going to turn Live Matte on, which is your background, and Live Set on. Now you can see it chroma keyed out the green, and I'm only able to see a little bit of my man here, my Emmy Award. So I'm going to try and use this button here called Tolerance and Smoothness to really fine tune the chroma keying. And there it is. But you see I have a little bit of spill here. Using the garbage mat, I can crop it, or I can just, again, use tolerance and smoothness to make him seem a little bit more clear. Again, he has a little bit of a shadow, so you really need to think about the 3-point lighting. I could also choose that background. Maybe I'll choose the background now to go in the effects, and I am able to put a white background into my monitor back here. I can cut between the size of the shots right here on the bottom of the live set. So if I wanted to start off with a wide shot, and when someone then says, and welcome to this episode of the Cardinal Corner, my name is Mr. Emmy Award, and here I am to deliver the news. There's a variety of shots that they offer you, a whole studio shot, and more of a faraway wide shot. So it's nice to kind of play around with these different shots. You could also change the camera angle and alignment. So basically your option is to choose one camera, and as a result you get 4 different camera shots with that one signal. So it's really interesting and quite nice to have. Depending on your chroma key and how well you want your image to look, we have all of these settings to kind of play around with. Garbage mat will cut something across left or right if it's on, as well as top to bottom. So, you see I'm chopping off his head right now, half of his body. And again, the spill, again, can be played around with tolerance or smoothness. If it's on, we're looking at the spill levels. Maybe you want to bring that one way or another, and you could adjust those right here. The proc amp can change your brightness or your contrast. You know, maybe I want to make them more gold. I might need to actually change the saturation. I might need to white balance the camera. So you really need to kind of see where your settings need to be. However, if you're really off in terms of what you're doing, you can always hit this button, Restore Defaults, and it'll take you back to manufacturing settings. You could also calibrate your camera with bars, which will make your green correct. It'll make your colors correct for your signal. Again, an important step when you come to chroma key. And that's really it for this. You want to put follow preview on so that no matter what you choose, this demo studio will follow, this particular studio will follow behind it. You don't want this one. You're going to want to follow the preview and change it to, I'm sorry, I'm changing input 3. Input 3. Right. Oh, that didn't quite work. Okay, yeah, so follow preview needs to be on. I know that. I'm just trying to play around with why it's not taking it on. I guess on camera 2, there's a preset for that. Okay, well, that's about it for the input setup and the chroma keying. Enjoy your next Tricaster tutorial. Thanks for watching.